Welcome to the Monday evening masterclass. As we start with our Ayurvedic talk, we are actually going to be doing a practice today that is postures that will support memory. So we're going to talk about memory, how to improve your memory, and what are the potential causes of memory loss or forgetfulness according to Ayurveda. So this is always the Ayurvedic perspective. I have a few different references that I use, Dr. Vasant, and then a few others that I use. But Dr. Vasant's pretty awesome because he can consolidate things, whereas a lot of the other stuff, it's a lot. So memory and forgetfulness happens. We all have episodes of that. Memory problems can be caused by, not having enough sleep. And oftentimes it means that there is a lack of minerals and nutrients, supply of nutrients to the brain. And there's actually a great psychologist, or I think he's a psychotherapist or a psychiatrist who studies the brain, Dr. Daniel Amen. And he talks about blood flow to the brain and how important it is. So blood flow to the brain is important in order to have good memory. So the things that will destroy those brain cells are alcohol, and then a lot of the drugs that are mind altering, like LSD and those. According to Ayurveda, marijuana, they will affect the brain. I know because I work with a neuroscientist here in town. He had given me a study that was done on marijuana a few years back, where they're now finding that long-term use of marijuana leads to nervous system instability and anxiety and those kinds of things. So it's something to think about. If you already have anxiety and that kind of stuff, you might want to take a break from those mind-altering drugs. And that would also include cocaine. They're all considered brain damaging type of drugs. And memory is recorded, according to Ayurveda, in the sensitive film nerve cells of the brain. And that particular tissue is kapha type of tissue. It's kapha in nature. In other words, kapha, remember, is made up of earth and water. Kapha in the body is your physical structure. So those particular tissues are kapha in nature. And the movement of memory is actually vata. So remember, vata is made up of ether and air is the element that is responsible for all movement in the body. That includes mind, the movement in the mind. So in order to improve memory, you need to control vata and kapha. However, pitta, which is the fire element, is sharp and penetrating and supports good memory. That's why those pitta individuals are usually highly intelligent, very, very driven, super smart, and clear. They see what needs to be done and they reach their goal, because they have this very penetrating ability to focus, and they're highly motivated individuals. Okay, so foods that support memory are carrots and beets. So you can have carrot juice and beet juice. Both of them are blood builders. So if you have any issues with your blood, they are blood builders, and it helps to improve memory. So if you're having issues with memory, one of the things that we can do is to simplify things in the body. That means to simplify your diet. So it's actually recommended in Ayurveda. One of the ways to improve and remove fogginess of the brain is to do like a khichdi fast or a fruit fast. So khichdi is a complete meal of Ayurveda. It is used to help improve digestion. It's basically rice and mung bean, and then with this particular fast, you would use the herb of cilantro. Okay. And fruit fast, the fruits that are used for each constitution is different. So Vata would be focusing more on papaya, prunes, and mangoes. For Pitta, you would want to use grapes, pomegranates, and apples. And for Kapha, you would want apples, cranberries, and pomegranates. Okay. The khichdi and the fruit fast are done from like 3 to 5 days. Khichdi usually 5 days, fruit fast 3 to 5. Anybody that has hypoglycemia, so they get low on calories very easily, they're not going to be able to do a fruit fast. So it's for those individuals who have no problem kind of lightening up their diet. I would not be that candidate because I need to eat. Other foods that are supportive for improving memory are sweet potatoes, tapioca, okra. And okra, by the way, is also used as a brain tonic. So it's very nurturing and nourishing for the brain in general. Spinach, because it promotes and stimulates memory. So spinach also supports pitta. Any Sattvic foods, if you don't remember what Sattvic is, I did a whole talk on Sattvic. Sattvic means pure, So Sattvic foods in general are all good for the memory. And they're always going to be fresh and nothing out of a package. It's not Sattvic. Sattvic also means that it has a lot of prana, vital force in it. So you can't have canned or anything like that. It loses its vitality if it's in a can. Okay, so it's always going to be fresh foods. Heavy meat, by the way, is not good for the memory. It actually makes the memory sluggish. So if you are having issues with memory fog, brain fog, then you want to cut back on meat, especially heavy meat. Okay, herbs that support memory are ginkgo, and there's also a herbal combination that is Brahmin, Jatamansi, and Brinjahar. I don't know that one. And Shankta Pushpi. There's a formulation for that. You would have to reach out for me to get that. Also, Brahmin milk. Remember, Brahmin is an herb that supports memory in general. It's good for the mind, good for pitta. And also aloe vera gel, very good. Here are some tactics and things that you can do to also support memory. Write it down. I usually tell my pitta people, because pitta people have a harder time falling asleep because they have an overactive mind and they tend to ruminate, especially if they have something they're trying to solve or something's irritated them. So they'll fixate and ruminate on a certain topic. So what you want to do is write things down. And then the other way that they do it is in India, the way that wisdom or knowledge was brought forth before things were written down was through the oral traditions. And in order to be able to remember mass amounts of knowledge, they would put things in words together in rhymes and rhythms. So rhyming and rhythms is also another way to help your memory and to retain knowledge. So when you put it in a rhyme, it will help memory. Association is also good in aiding memory, especially when you take somebody's name and associate it with, I don't know, something unusual, like say it's your mother-in-law and she always likes to raise her right hand. And so you can think of her with the Statue of Liberty or something like that. Association. There's also meditations that you can do. There's 2 different meditations. One is meditating on forgetfulness. So say you're having a forgetful moment. What you would actually do is stop, be still, and you go into that forgetfulness. You just allow yourself to delve into it and experience it. And what will typically happen, it will start to just expand, and whatever it is that you forgot will come to the surface. Right. So that is one meditation that you could do. Another thing that supports memory is daily exercise. So getting out and doing a brisk walk, daily walking, especially fast walking, and because it's improving your circulation and strengthens memory. If you can walk for at least a half an hour, 5 times a week, that's ideal. We are going to be doing yoga postures tonight that support memory, but I want to tell you what some of them are. Shoulder stand. Remember, shoulder stand is going to help everything from here up. Okay, so that's memory. Headstand. Headstand also is great for developing contemplation skills. So headstand, plow, camel pose, bow and cobra, and also Savasana. How nice. As well as sun salutations, because it's getting everything moving. So you do sun salutations, and then you go on and do these other poses. Oiled massage, but using bromine oil is what you would want to use. That's a pitta oil, by the way. And you rub it on the soles of the feet and also your scalp to stimulate the cerebroneural receptors under the skin, which then send messages to the brain cells and then activate memory, right? That is part of daily Abhyanga anyway, putting oil on your body. And if you're putting oil on at night, I do morning and night. I always do my feet and I always do my head, okay? Nasya, you can do nasya. That is oil in the nose. And if it's the doorway, by the way, the nostrils are the doorway to the brain. So nose drops, and you want to have them warmed up with bromine ghee, and 5 drops in each nostril can help improve memory. So you just use bromine ghee. You can get that online, you guys. And there's also medicated nasya oils you can get too. Pranayama that supports memory is alternate nostril breath. We did that in our last class, in our last master class. So alternate nostril breath, remember it's 2 fingers on the bridge. You inhale through both nostrils, close the right, exhale left, inhale left, then you close the left, exhale right, inhale right, close the right, and repeat that. Okay, so alternate nostril breath, it improves the cerebral circulation. Meditation for better memory. It is also going to help reduce stress, worry, and anxiety. So the meditation for improving memory is going to reduce all of that, and thus that helps support memory. Regular meditation, by the way, in general, is beneficial for relieving stress and helping you have a crisper mind, crisper memory. And then you want to avoid toxic substances. As I was telling you, no alcohol. Alcohol, there's nothing good about it unless you're putting it on a wound. Okay? So alcohol, marijuana, restrict and avoid drugs that directly affect the brain. Smoking cigarettes also adversely affects memory. Nicotine toxicities constrict cerebral blood vessels, which will damage the brain cells. And some research indicates that prescription drugs will also cause problems and impair memory. So you got to watch all of those. Okay. So that is our Ayurveda and memory for tonight. Let's do a practice that supports memory. And guess what? It's going to be a pitta practice, pitta reducing practice, which then also supports memory and all of the wonderful pitta qualities that we all want, which is to be sharp and motivated and reach our goals and logical, intelligent. We don't want that. Beautiful and intelligent. All right, let's move on.